Have you ever felt that the world is on the brink of something monumental? That beneath the surface of our daily headlines, an ancient prophetic clock is ticking down? What if I told you that one of the most pivotal yet shocking events foretold in Islam involves two mysterious forces known as Gog and Magog? Their role is not just a footnote in Scripture. It is a central, earth-shattering sign of the end times that speaks directly to the chaos and uncertainty we feel today. This is a story that will challenge everything you think you know about the future of our world. The narrative of Gog and Magog, or Yajuj and Majuj, is a profound tapestry woven with divine mystery, a sealed barrier, and an impending release that will redefine reality itself. We're going to journey beyond the surface and delve into the shocking role they play a role. That is less about a simple battle and more about a divine test designed to separate truth from illusion. It's pushed humanity to its absolute limit, and ultimately, to reveal a breathtaking truth about the power of faith in the face of overwhelming darkness. This isn't just about understanding prophecy, it's about understanding our place within it. If you're ready to uncover one of Islam's most compelling and urgent revelations, then you need to watch this until the very end. Stick with me, because what you're about to learn will change your perspective forever. If this is the kind of deep, reflective content that helps you on your path, then please, help this message reach others by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Your support allows us to continue exploring these profound truths together. Asterisk, asterisk, in the quiet moments of reflection. When you consider the grand narrative of our existence, have you ever wondered about the final act? Islam paints a vivid, awe-inspiring picture of the end times, a tapestry woven with signs both minor and monumental. Yet among these prophecies, the mention of Gog and Majuj carries a particular weight, a mysterious and chilling resonance that speaks to a trial of unimaginable scale. They are not mere nations, but a force of chaos sealed away since antiquity. It's a testament to divine power and a pending test for all of humanity. Imagine, if you will, a barrier built not of mere iron and stone, but infused with the divine mercy of Dhul-Qarnayn, a righteous king who listened to the pleas of a people tormented. For centuries, this wall has held, a forgotten miracle containing a seething, restless energy just beyond the periphery of our world. Their eventual release isn't a matter of if, but when, standing as one of the major signs that the final hour is truly approaching. It's a concept that should give us all pause, urging a deeper look into our own spiritual state. There's a subtle urgency in this, my friend, not to live in fear, but to live with awareness. The imagery is profound. A time will come when these nations will pour forth from every elevation, their numbers vast like raging waves, disrupting a world of order and faith. Their descent represents a corruption so pervasive, it will touch the very water we drink and the peace we strive for. To understand their role is to begin to understand the profound challenges that will precede a final divine redemption, a cleansing of a world pushed to the very brink. Asterisk, asterisk, and what is the nature of this unimaginable trial? The prophetic descriptions are less about a conventional war and more about an overwhelming systemic decay. They will drink the lakes dry, their endless multitudes consuming the resources of the earth with an insatiable hunger. It's a spiritual pollution as much as a physical one, a force that embodies heedlessness and disruption. Their presence unravels the very fabric of society, turning neighbor against neighbor and challenging the core of human faith and resilience. In their wake, they leave not just destruction, but a profound sense of helplessness, making the prayers of the believers feel like whispers against a hurricane. This is where the narrative takes its most profound turn. In the face of this utter despair, when humanity is brought to its knees, literally and figuratively, the believers will have nowhere to turn but to the divine. Their du'as will rise with a raw, desperate sincerity, a collective cry for a salvation that only Allah can provide. It is in this moment of absolute vulnerability, when our own strength and strategies have completely failed us, that the divine response arrives. This is the core of the lesson. Gog and Magog exists not merely as a punishment, but but as the ultimate catalyst to drive the faithful back to the ultimate source of all power and mercy. So, when we reflect on this, it's not meant to paralyze us with dread, but to awaken a conscious urgency within our own souls. Their story is a mirror held up to the chaos we sometimes feel within ourselves and see in the world, a chaos of unchecked desire, consumption, and disconnect from our purpose. The barrier holding that back is both a historical reality and a powerful metaphor for the faith and discipline that keep our own inner chaos at bay. Understanding their shocking role is ultimately a call to fortify our own hearts, to strengthen our connection to the divine, to recognize that true peace and protection come only from Him. Think about the profound wisdom in this divine narrative. The release of Gog and Magog and the subsequent, almost hopeless desperation they bring about serve a purpose far greater than mere punishment. It is the ultimate demonstration that human planning, our advanced technology, and our earthly power have a final, absolute limit. This impending event strips away all illusions of control, reminding every soul of its inherent need for the Creator. It's a divine reset that reorients the entire creation back to its ultimate purpose, worship and submission to Allah alone. This isn't a story of doom, it's a story of returning home. And then, in that moment of collective surrender, when the last glimmer of human hope is extinguished, the miracle unfolds. Allah, in His infinite mercy, answers the call of His servants. The Quran describes how a simple prayer, born from the purest depth of faith, will trigger a divine intervention that utterly annihilates the hordes of Gog and Magog. It is a powerful, hope-filled promise that no matter how immense the trial, divine aid is always near. It's a reminder that our faith is not in vain, and that the darkest hour truly is just before the dawn. This entire cosmic event is a profound lesson in reliance tawakkul. It asks us to look at the smaller Gog and Magog in our own lives. The overwhelming anxieties, the endless distractions, the spiritual numbness that slowly seeps in. How do we build barriers against that? Their story urges us to strengthen our spiritual foundations now. To turn to Allah with sincerity before we are forced to by sheer circumstance. It's a gentle, yet urgent nudge to not wait for the world to fall apart, to remember who holds it all together. If this exploration of our faith's profound narratives resonates with you, if you find yourself yearning to deepen your understanding and strengthen your spiritual connection, you're not alone. I invite you to join our community on your channel name here, where we continue these conversations, seeking clarity and comfort in the divine wisdom of Islam together. Subscribe and let's walk this path of knowledge and reflection side by side. Imagine the sheer, deafening roar of their numbers as sound the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, described as a raging torrent, consuming everything in its path. This isn't a distant legend. It's a pending reality that shifts the very axis of our world from a state of relative order into absolute, unimaginable chaos. Their corruption is so profound that an arrow fired into the sky will not simply miss its mark. It'll return stained with their blood, a chilling testament to their suffocating presence that will blot out the horizon. This is the climax of their role, to be the ultimate stress test on creation itself, pushing humanity to a brink we cannot even fathom from our current state of comfort. And in that overwhelming darkness, a profound global silence will fall among the believers, a silence not of defeat, but of ultimate realization. Every strategy exhausted, every weapon useless, every leader out of answers. It is in this breathtaking moment of collective powerlessness that the human spirit is finally stripped bare, ready for its most authentic connection. The chaos of Gog and Magog, in its shocking scale, serves the divine purpose of purifying the faith of the believers, distilling it from a mere practice into a raw, desperate, and essential cry from the soul. This is the moment where everything else falls away, and only the divine remains. This impending climax is not just a historical event to be read about. It's a spiritual mirror. The relentless, consuming nature of Gog and Magog reflects the inner chaos we all battle, the endless noise of worldly desires, the anxieties that swarm our thoughts, the distractions that pull us from our purpose. Story asks us an urgent personal question. If your inner world was unleashed upon the earth, what kind of chaos would it bring? It compels us to build our own spiritual barriers now, to fortify our hearts with remembrance, so we may find peace within, even as the world around us trembles. Asterisk. Yet, even the most terrifying night must eventually give way to dawn. After the overwhelming despair, a flicker of hope emerges, not from any human army or strategy, but from the most profound and simple act of faith, a heartfelt dua. The believers, cornered and utterly powerless, will raise their hands in unified supplication. Their voices a single thread of pure reliance on Allah. This is the pivotal turn. It is in this moment of total surrender that the divine mechanism of salvation is activated, demonstrating that the most powerful force in existence is not chaos, but a sincere heart calling upon its creator. The response is both awe-inspiring and humbling. Allah sends a gentle yet potent form of destruction, a worm, or corruption, that attacks the very necks of Gog and Magog, wiping them out in a single swift divine command. Imagine the sudden, deafening silence that follows the storm. The earth, once teeming with their corrupting presence, is now still, their bodies becoming a feast for the birds and beasts. This isn't a victory of man over man. It is a definitive demonstration of divine authority over creation, a clear sign that every soul will ultimately answer to a power far greater than itself. This resolution sets the stage for what comes after. The cleansing a world scoured of this ancient blight, purified and ready for a breath of peace and true faith. The defeat of Gog and Magog isn't the final end, but the necessary prelude to a period of profound spiritual renewal and tranquility, a direct mercy following immense trial. It reminds us that on the other side of immense hardship, there is always a divine plan for relief and reward, a promise that our patience and faith will never, ever be in vain. Asterisk. So, my friend, after the immense silence that follows the storm, what remains? The earth, once scarred by the footsteps of countless hordes, begins to breathe again. This is the profound payoff, the first breath of a world reborn. The defeat of Gog and Magog is more than a military victory. It is a spiritual cleansing of the planet itself, a divine mercy so vast it washes away the residue of that unimaginable corruption. In the wake of that utter helplessness, we find the most powerful truth, that our ultimate reliance on Allah is never a sign of weakness, but the very source of our unshakable strength and the key to our salvation. This is the emotional core of their entire story. They were released not to destroy us, but to ultimately bring us back, to force humanity to its knees so it could remember who to pray to. The real victory wasn't their annihilation, but the profound collective turning of hearts that preceded it. The payoff is the breathtaking peace that follows. Okay? A testament that Allah's promise is true, and that after every hardship, without fail, there is ease. It's a promise etched into the very fabric of our faith, meant to comfort us in our own personal trials, reminding us that our own Gog and Magog, be they fear, doubt, or despair, are never the final word. And this leads us to the most beautiful part, the true reward waiting just on the other side of this trial. This global purification paves the way for a period of peace and spiritual enlightenment the world has yearned for since the beginning of time. It sets the stage for the final acts of human history to unfold under a canopy of divine grace and mercy, a direct result of that collective, desperate prayer that rose from the ashes. The story is ultimately one of hope, a powerful reminder that from the greatest chaos, Allah brings forth the most profound order, and from the deepest darkness, He manifests the most guiding light. Asterisk. And so, my friend, we arrive at the heart of it all. The shocking narrative of Gog and Magog concludes not in everlasting fear, but in the most profound peace imaginable, a world purified, a humanity humbled, and a faith refined in the fires of trial. This is the ultimate payoff, a divine reminder that no matter how immense the chaos, how overwhelming the darkness, sincere heart connected to its creator is the most powerful force in the universe. Their story is our story, a metaphor for every struggle we face, assuring us that on the other side of hardship awaits a dawn of mercy, a promise directly from the divine to you and me. Thank you so sincerely for walking through this profound journey with me. If this reflection resonated with you, if it offered a new perspective or touched your heart, then that is the greatest reward. Please, share this video with someone you care about. In a world that can often feel overwhelming, this story is a timeless anchor of hope, a conversation worth having with those who also seek deeper meaning and spiritual comfort amidst the noise. I would truly love to hear what you think. How did this story make you feel? What parallels did you see in your own life? Leave a comment below and let's continue this conversation together. And now, to bring this full circle and leave you with even more to reflect on, the video you see on screen next is the perfect follow-up to deepen your understanding. I highly recommend you watch it. Thank you for your time, your open mind, and may your path be filled with light and clarity. Asterisk.